Okay, so welcome to Youve, PhD. I'm a psychologist here in Sydney, Australia, specifically in Maroubra. And what I wanted to share with you today is another tool to help overcome fear. And the third one I wanted to talk about is the idea of being able to face the fears in your mind. And it's what we call imaginal exposure or cognitive exposure. In short, you're going to imagine a fearful scenario, and you're going to live and experience all the sensations, all the emotions, all the thoughts in that scenario in your mind, so that when you face it in real life, you're better prepared. And in fact, your body and your mind and your brain will adapt. You can actually practice in imaginary space before you encounter in reality, and you'll be surprised at how effective this is. So first things first, you want to choose a spot where you're not going to get too disturbed and you're going to get too distracted, because you're going to focus really heavily on some of the images that you can create in your mind. A really common fear that I see is this fear about bombing a job interview, and sometimes this really prevents people from even applying for jobs. And so let's work on that one. Okay, so I want you to imagine really failing at this interview. Every possible thing that went wrong has gone wrong. You've forgotten the interviewers' names, they're ripping into you about gaps in your employment, you've sort of exaggerated too much on some of your skills, you're dressed inappropriately for the situation, you've made inappropriate remarks, you referred to the company as also one of their competitors' names, every possible thing. And I want you to imagine that in excruciating detail and experience all the social judgment, the fear, the shame, whatever it is. I want you to experience it, and I don't want you to turn away from it. I want you to live through that. I want you to imagine being there, seeing their faces, hearing those words, and as you're processing this, I want you to imagine stepping out of that particular environment, the interview's done, and walking out with this heavy sensation or heavy emotion. Take a deep breath, ground yourself, and if you don't know what grounding is, refer to one of my previous videos. And I want you to now get to a state where you've accepted the outcome. You blew the interview. It happens. And if you have any other cognitive or mental skills, you can engage in a little self-talk here, a little challenging to help you manage this, and come to a place where you've accepted the outcome. Okay. Now, at this point, I want you to do it again. And I want you to do this frequently. Once a day is enough, or maybe twice a day, if you're really keen to get accustomed to this. Now, I want you to notice something. It's actually harder to try to create that level of anxiety, of fear, of shame. You've already lived through this. As you replayed it, it's not as bad as when you first did. And I want you to keep practicing. Keep doing it till you get to a point where your anxiety level, or what you're fearful, what you're shameful of, is so mild that, okay, well, if I can survive the worst case scenario, well, what do you think your body and your mind and your brain will respond to it when you've already lived in excruciating detail the worst case scenario? And so this is a really powerful tool. It's a type of habituation to fear, or getting used to fear, or conditioning to fear, whatever words that you want to use. But being able to face your fears in your imagination and then facing them in real life afterwards, after you conditioned yourself to it, it's a really powerful hack, really. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got some good value. Give it a go. Practice, and soon you'll notice that the fears in your mind, it might actually be worse than the fears in real life, and that's the point. and then you conditioned yourself so that you can handle all the impact that real life has to throw at you. So other than that, happy recovery.